More and more companies are trying to find ways to produce content that engages their audience and gets them interested in products and services. Now, two things I always emphasize with clients is to produce content that not only engages an audience, but gets them interested in their products and services in ways that don't constantly involve a direct sales pitch. Secondly, I encourage them to embrace creative and unique ways to develop that content. In other words, you don't always have to take a serious, business-like, one-dimensional approach to it. For example, when North American Spine decided to develop an audio player for their website, they asked me to write and produce a variety of segments that could be featured on it. Granted, some segments are automatically going to be more direct and serious-natured, but there was clearly room to be creative with other content. I knew I needed to write and produce segments that would feature the right and wrong way of doing things. So I drew inspiration from a magazine I used to read as a kid. It was called Highlights, and it always featured an illustration called Goofus and Gallant. Gallant always did things right, Goofus always did things the wrong way. So I took that and I created Smarty and Hardy. One kid is smart about the way he treats his back, the other one is always hard on it. And since it was inspired by a classic kids magazine, I thought I would produce it in a way that sounded like those old educational films they used to show us in schools.
North American Spine presents Smarty and Hardy, two boys that take very different approaches to neck and back pain. Today's episode is called The Sag in Your Bag. Today is Smarty's first day of college, and he can't wait to get started. After all, he's called Smarty for a reason. He doesn't want to be late for his first class, so last night he filled his backpack with the right essentials. In other words, he's only taking the books and supplies that he needs for that school day. Plus, he packed a couple of granola bars in case he gets hungry. He zips up the bag and correctly slides it over his back, using both straps, one over each shoulder. That way, the weight of the bag remains even as he walks. There's no back pain for him today. Meanwhile, it's also Hardy's first day of college, and once again, today is going to be a hard day on his back. Unlike Smarty, he's due in class in 8 minutes, and he hasn't even packed his bag yet. This will cause him to learn another lesson the hard way. Being rushed for time, Hardy doesn't have time to look at his schedule and put the right books in his bag. So, he just throws them all in there. He doesn't want to carry his keys in his pocket, so those go in there too, along with a cell phone, a can of soda, pens, a laptop, a jacket in case it's cold in the classroom, and a pack of gum. This bag is definitely overstuffed, but Hardy manages to shove it all in and even get the bag closed. Eventually. As he runs out the door, he throws the bag over just one shoulder. That shoulder will feel the weight of that bag all day. And it will make something as simple as running down the stairs a little more difficult. If you're carrying a bag with you all day, do it like Smarty. Manage the weight of the bag by only carrying items that you need for that day. That way, you're less likely to put pressure on your back and shoulder. If your bag offers you 2 straps, use them both. Keep the weight balanced so that you don't place stress on one side of your body. Carrying a bag like Smarty will help you avoid back and shoulder pain later on in the day. Join us next time for another episode of Smarty and Hardy.
Thanks for listening. If you have questions or comments, please feel free to share those here. For more insights on podcast and content, or to contact me, please visit my website, scottmurrayonline.com.